I've been playing music for most of my life. I'm 34 years old, and I started playing guitar when I was 11. And I started recording songs when I was like 11 or 12. Cover songs, but I was writing songs by when I was 13 or 14. And by the time I was 15 and in high school, I made an entire album and like really heartbreaking cool stuff. Like I discovered it recently, and it was and my voice wasn't great and my technical skills weren't there, but there was a lot of heart. And I actually found some songs that I was like, dude, these are really good. And looking back on those songs, 20 years later, it's weird to look at because I've noticed patterns in my playing that are different because I know more about music now, or I know a little bit more about music theory. So I'll do things now in a more conventional way than I would have when I was younger and I didn't know the rules. And I just kind of was doing what sounded good or felt right. And so I guess there's definitely a beauty in a beginner's mind sort of mindset. Because you can break the rules without even knowing that you're breaking the rules. You don't know what the rules are, and there is really a beauty in that. But if you're anything like me, um, and you're a songwriter, you're a musician, you're creative in any sort of way, you've probably been holding yourself back in some sort of capacity because of, I guess, what a lot of people call like imposter syndrome. And I've thought a lot about that recently because I took like, I guess maybe like an 8 year detour where I got comfortable in a job. I got comfortable in not fully committing to my art and my story, to like following somebody else's path, I guess, a path set out for me, as and what I mean by that is like a job, right? And I don't mean like quit your job or anything like that. I just mean that for a long time I was seeking validation, and I always believed that you needed to work for somebody else and you kind of had to put in the hours to be seen as legitimate. And for a long time I worked one not sorry, not just one job, but like two jobs at a time. And I think it was kind of to impress my dad and my brothers and make them see me as legitimate, because for whatever reason a musician is not seen as a legitimate thing. So as a musician, sometimes you're stacked up with, well, you got to work a job, maybe you got to work two jobs, and then you play your music on the side. But how are you ever going to get anywhere with your music if you're only playing it on the side? And for a lot of people, that's okay. I mean, like if it's going to be just kind of a side hobby thing, there's nothing wrong with that by any means. But if it's something that's burning inside of you and like something that you really need to do, you have to commit a little bit more than it just being a side thing. And I know that I've held myself back in a lot of that by getting comfortable in when I got a full time job, and I walked away from that job last year, and I also quit smoking cigarettes, which was huge for me because I was like a pack and a half a day cigarette smoker, chain smoking all the time. And I live in Austin, Texas, and I was playing a show I was playing like a happy hour thing for my friend Caroline's show at Hole in the Wall, and I remember having what I would call a panic attack. And it was like I was singing my songs. It was a half an hour show, and I'm 34, so this was last year. I was 33, which I know it sounds really old. I mean, and maybe it is. Like, um, and we're like, I couldn't get through my own songs vocally because I move a lot when I play. I get around. I move. But I was really out of breath and I couldn't sing my own songs. And I got through it, and I don't think anybody noticed really, except my girlfriend, and she did kind of notice. And I talked to her, and I don't know if we were actually dating at that point yet, but we are now. It's been about a year. So this is maybe right before we started dating. But I I was like, if I don't stop smoking cigarettes right now, I'm not gonna be able to play music. And music to me is not a hobby, even though I've sort of been treating it like that. I'd play like a show once every month, maybe once every 2 months for years. Well, for a few years. And I got to a point where like I couldn't sing songs that I had been singing you know, for a really long time. I couldn't sing them because I had no lung capacity because of cigarettes. And I was like, dude, I either quit smoking cigarettes or I quit playing music because I know I'm not going to die right now. But if I continue smoking cigarettes the way I had been, I'm not going to be able to live the quality of life that I want to, and I'm not going to be able to have music in my life in the way that I want to. Because I want to sing my songs. I want to connect with people on a lyrical level, I mean, that's what I want to do. So, and I think that it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing to say, I'm going to commit and I'm going to put myself out there because musically, if you're only halfway in, you're playing a show a month, you're just kind of flirting with the idea of playing music, you're not risking anything, right? So you're not really putting yourself out there. You're just tasting the waters of like judgment by the outside. And you have to risk it. You really have to risk it. Like you can't sit on the sidelines. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get fulfilled from it, right? And I think the fear that I had for a really long time was like a fear of failure, because if I never really fully tried to play music in a capacity that was, I guess, like, if I had a plan B, right? If I had a fallback plan, steady job, right? Like, then I'm never really fully committing to music and I can't fail. And I think that for the longest time, I did not want to face the possibility of actual failure. And now that, well, it's been about 6 months since I walked away from my full time job and I've been playing music, and it's been hard and it's been scary. you know. But at the same time, I've got a band that plays with me now. We went in and recorded a full length album, an entire album. And it's almost just like, why not? Because there is no right time. You're never going to be ready if you're always waiting for the perfect time. You'll never be ready. It's never, did I get the right gear? Did I do? No. The only time is now, and that's what you have. Because believe me, 10 years will go by and you'll look back and you'll be like, dude, where did those 10 years go? I mean, for me, 10 years ago, when I was in college, I was touring every summer. So for 3 summers, I would go on, I went on tour and play music, play a bunch of house shows and stuff like that. And I would call my brother and I'd be like, dude, I'm on tour. I'm so stoked about this, man. Like, what's up? Like, and my brother would be like, you're not on tour, dude. Like, you're not making any money. You're losing money, actually. And so essentially, you're paying to play. And that hurt so bad to hear. And as much as I was like, you're wrong, dude, that voice is in my head and has never left my head. And it's made me reject the idea of making money off of music or my creativity. I pause even thinking about saying that because at the heart of it, I think like you need to be making art to make art, not to make money, not for an art. Like you have to make it for yourself. If you're making it for yourself and you're being authentic and you're open, it will be found by the people that need to find it, hopefully, you know. But you shouldn't be making art to like be like, well, this is selling this year. Like maybe I should try to sound more like that because like it's not going to make you feel good. It's not real. It's you can do that and you might make money, but that is like a venture capitalist going in and saying, here is like something that I need to, here is a business opportunity. Like music shouldn't be a business opportunity. Creative endeavors shouldn't be. I'm not saying you can't make money off of it. So now I'm instead of working a 9 to 5 where I go in and I sit at the computer all day and I do this thing, it's like not my skill set and like I put my heart into it because whatever. These days now, okay, I go and I play like long sets at long music sets, right? Like at a hotel or at like breweries and stuff like that. And that's a challenge as well because now I'm making money off of playing music and now I'm singing cover songs and stuff like that. It's strange and for a couple months I was really battling with like, am I authentically being myself? And right now I feel pretty confident and comfortable with it. um, I don't feel jaded by it or anything. Just sometimes I wonder like why the fuck, like why did I wait so long, you know to jump in and like fully pursue what I want to do? Like why did I wait so long? And there's never going to be a time when like somebody walks in and is like, now is the time, you can do it, you can be yourself. Like no, you need to decide for yourself that it's the time. And when you do, you can go for it and you're going to risk comfortability. Maybe that's okay. I've been going on long enough, so I don't know. My name's Andrew. See you next time.